probability? Probability is everywhere. So look, I put things stuff into Google, and the first hit is this things and stuff. So let's look at that. Okay, in this things and stuff, that's a red thing. That's a red thing. That's a red thing. So there's 3 red things, okay? So the probability that I randomly pick a red thing would be 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 3 out of 14 things are red. Great, that's probability. Let's do some more probability. Tools. Here's a tool. Here's a tool. The probability of picking a tool is 2 out of 14. That's great. This is good fun. Okay, probability. Nice and easy. One more. Electronic things. Okay, you pause and have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's treadmill. 6, hover thingy. 7 headphones, obviously. Let's say it's an acoustic guitar. Okay, so 7 out of 14 things are electronic. Okay. Out of interest, there's a thing we could do to go further with probabilities. We could write it as a decimal as well. It's not much harder because this here, this 7 out of 14, that out of is a divide sign. Let me write 7 out of 14 again. So 7 out of 14, 7, tiny 7, out of 14. There we go. What does that look like there? That's a divide sign right there, okay? So literally this is where the divide sign comes from, is because it's a fraction looking like that. So I can get a calculator, here we go. I can do 7 divided by 14, 0.5. Okay, so 7 out of 14 equals 0.5 as a decimal. And we know that, right? 7 is half of 14, 0.5, a half, right? So you can write it as a fraction, that's the easy one, or a decimal, which is just as easy if you've got a calculator. You just use divide. 7 divided by 14 is 0.5. Okay? By the way, 0.5 is the same as a half. So we could, if we wanted to, have fun with equivalent fractions. We could say 7 out of 14 is equivalent to a half. It's the same thing as a half. And the way you do that normally is you find a number that you can divide by the top and the bottom. So in this particular example, okay, what I can do is I get my 7 and I divide it by 7 and I get 7 divided by 7 equals 1. I get my 14, I divide it by the same, divide by the same number, which is divide by 7, and I get a 2. So my 1 over 2 comes from the 7 over 14 by dividing both the top and the bottom by the same number. In this case, dividing them both by 7. Okay, and what we find out is that 7 over 14 is the same thing as a half, and it's the same thing as 0.5. There we go. So all there is to it, really, probability.